Hi, this is Ashley Corinne, also known as Corinne Wednesday, broadcasting to you live from the basement of the Revolution. And I I want I want to make a video which is a personal video. You know, and it has to do with Donald Trump because specifically it has to do with his immigration policy and his general attitude toward immigrants. And I remember I was listening to, there's a local radio station around where I live, and they're suppose you could say they're Republican-ish mostly, probably for the most part, but they're not definitely pro-Trump. They're not all in it for Trump. They're not all in it, if you know what I mean. Which is I would plug them, but the Illuminati's listening. Um, but you know, with this, I mean, with all this, with all this refugee stuff, you know, it's like when I was a child, okay, I grew up in California. I grew up in Central California, SenCal, fucking West Side. But it's like, I grew up in Central California in the 80s. And it was when there was some sort of, I'd have to look it up so I can understand all the political connotations of it, but it was basically Cambodia and stuff like that. Southeast Asians were being genocided and stuff like that. And so a lot of them came to America seeking asylum, which is their legal fucking right. And that's the fucking point that I'm trying to make. And fuck Donald Trump. I hope he rots in hell for this shit. you know, but I went to school with, like I said, not only immigrants, but refugees, okay? The elementary school that I went to, and I was in a poor neighborhood, and so that's probably why these refugees got, for lack of a better term, got dumped here. But this is no lie. This is not hyperbole. When I was in elementary school, my school was literally like 90% Asian. And I had friends from Cambodia, I had friends from Laos, I had friends from Thailand, I had friends from Hmong, et cetera, et cetera. And in fact, one of my best friends, his name was Dang. But, you know, they were refugees, okay? Refugees from war. And yeah, they kind of had messed up accents and shit like that, but it's like, you know, and of course that's California. But the point that I'm trying to make is, immigrant refugees are not the problem. And Donald fuck himself Trump. He's like, oh, these are very bad people. They got a lot of problems. They got a lot of problems. You got a lot of problems, Mr. fucking President. I mean, fuck, it fucking pisses me off. And see, this is the thing is, it's Donald fucking Ivory Tower Trump, who was born with a fucking silver spoon up his ass. He's like, oh, these people are coming in, they got a lot of problems. And it's like, what the fuck? And see, the thing is, the sheer hypocrisy here is that Donald Trump actually hired illegal immigrants to work for him. Of course he did. Cheap labor. Money. But refugees, this is not fucking ISIS, dude. Even though if you check my beard, I might look like ISIS, but I'm not. I'm a radical Buddhist. But these are people, and I remember all my friends. Like I said, I'm not lying when I say that 90% of my elementary school was Southeast Asian refugees. And that's not a bad thing. It gave me an early perspective on, multiculturalism and how it's a good thing. Because we would have assemblies and shit like that where they would where certain people would I remember this one. It was when I was a kid, so I don't remember all of it. But where the girls would do they'd wear their cultural dress and do their cultural dance and stuff like that, and it was fucking cool, and it was fucking it was badass. And the thing is, and then I grew up and I met people who were racist, and they're like, oh, I hate those Asian people. And I was like, huh? Like, honestly, I was like, what? And so nowadays, it's like, people are like, oh, those refugees. Which a lot of them fall short of saying, but this is what's really going on in their minds. They're like, oh, those dirty brown people. Those fucking wetbacks. And it's like, refugees are a good thing. And don't forget, and I'm not saying this as a point of white guilt, don't forget that in America, the white man stole this land from the natives. And and like I said, I'm not saying that all white people are guilty of this. Although a lot of people have this fucking entitled manifest destiny bullshit going on inside their heads. But the white man ran the natives off of their land, and then they get pissed. The white man gets pissed when the natives try to get their land back after being fucking, scourged and raped and conquistadored. Anyways. This is the Ashley Corinne signing out. And being a refugee is not a crime. And it's not illegal. Look up the law, you fucking faggot.